Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Joni, and today we are going to be talking all about the Epcot Food and Wine Festival. We're going to be talking all things food and wine. I'm going to do an overview of what the Food and Wine Festival actually is, as well as my experience and my recommendations on what I have had at the Food and Wine Festival. I'm going to show you guys some pictures and all of that good stuff, so let's jump right into it. The 2019 Epcot Food and Wine Festival runs from August 29th through November 23rd. For those of you who have never been and don't exactly know what the Food and Wine Festival is, it's in Epcot and it will be in the World Showcase area. They have special booths that they put out that have different food and drink items. The offerings at these booths will be different countries than what you generally have in the World Showcase area. You get to try some really great food items from countries that you wouldn't generally find in Epcot, so you have a nice array of different types of food and drinks from around the world. Admission to the Food and Wine Festival is free with your admission into the park itself. You do not have to pay any extra money to enjoy the event. Obviously, any food or drink items or anything like that you do want to try, you are going to have to pay for, but the admission itself does come within your Epcot admission. One of the cool things that they do during the Food and Wine Festival is the Eat to the Beat concert series. They have different bands that come in and play during the festival in the evenings. You will find this in the American Pavilion. I think each artist has 3 sets in the evening, if I'm not mistaken. And it's free. That's part of your admission into Epcot, and it's so cool that you can experience something like that while just kind of enjoying your day at Disney. I think that is so cool that they do that. If you're interested in learning more about food and beverages, they do have some demonstrations and kind of like seminars and stuff like that that you can actually go and watch. I would recommend checking out the events page on Disney's website to kind of see what they have available and everything. Some of these do actually cost money and do require reservations, so make sure to check that out. Some of them even feature celebrity chefs, so that is definitely cool. When we went for Food and Wine Festival, we didn't have a chance to do anything like that, and I wish we did, because I think that would be something really cool to do, and I hope to be able to do that on a future trip for sure. If you're looking for something a little bit more on the interactive side to do for the Food and Wine Festival, and definitely something that your youngsters might be interested in, they have kind of a scavenger hunt. It's based on Remy from Ratatouille. This is Remy's Ratatouille Hide and Squeak. You can kind of do it a couple different ways. The way Disney really wants you to do it is you generally go and you pay for this little like scavenger hunt paper, and you have these little stickers that you stick on whenever you find Remy. He's kind of tucked away throughout the festival. You'll see little statues and stuff of him. If you complete your scavenger hunt, you could take the paper up and get a fun prize. So I think that's something that's really cool. You could always, kind of look for Remy yourself without paying for the scavenger hunt. Obviously, if, you do it yourself like that, you don't get the fun prize and, stuff like that. But you could definitely take a look around for him even if you don't do the actual scavenger hunt itself. Another thing that they have that's really cool during the Food and Wine Festival, keeping the youngsters in mind, is they do have a little playground set up. It's just something small, but I think that that's really cool. I actually wish all of the parks had that year-round. I think that would be really nice to have, but that's definitely something that they have available during Food and Wine. So if you are traveling with a kid, make sure to check out where the playground is. Let them blow off some steam for a while. And of course, with any Disney event, you will have special merchandise specifically branded for Food and Wine Festival. We got a few of the special merchandise when we were there for Food and Wine, and it's definitely things that we absolutely love and enjoy using. So I definitely recommend checking out some of the special merchandise. There might be something really cool that you or your family might enjoy. One thing that you should definitely know ahead of time if you are heading out to the Food and Wine Festival is it can get expensive. Depending on how many items you get throughout the Food and Wine Festival, it can add up real quick. Most of the things that you could get would be anywhere from like $4 something up to like $10. kind of anywhere in between there is what you're looking at for an individual item. I wanted to tell you guys how much we spent when we went, just to kind of give you an idea. Now keep in mind, we fully knew that we were going to spend a lot of money at Food and Wine. That is one of the reasons that we had booked that trip that year, is we wanted to be able to experience the Food and Wine Festival, and we also wanted to experience the Halloween party at Magic Kingdom. So those are really the main reasons that we actually booked that trip at the time that we did, so we could, experience those things. So we didn't mind, spending a decent amount of money on Food and Wine. Over the course of our trip, we went back to Epcot on several different occasions to get a few things here and there for the Food and Wine Festival. So this was definitely not over 1 or 2 days. This spanned quite a few days. We're big park hoppers, so, we might be in Magic Kingdom and then hop to Epcot for some lunch or something and then head on out. We treated this more like either a lunch or dinner experience or like a little snack in the midday. That's how we did it. So this was over the span of several days. We ended up getting 36 items in total from the Food and Wine Festival. Now the price I'm about to say is literally the total price of food and drink items from the festival booths. This would not be including anything that you could get at Epcot year-round or any of the merchandise that we bought for the Food and Wine Festival. This is literally the food and drink items that we purchased. We spent $198.89 on those 36 items. So that's definitely not cheap. Like I said, this can add up quite quickly, so I just wanted to be full disclosure to you guys of how much we spent, to kind of give you an idea of how much you and your family might spend at the Food and Wine Festival. Now, a quick little breakdown for you. Out of that price, $81.74 was spent on alcoholic beverages, and $117.15 was spent on food items. So that kind of gives you an idea of how much you definitely could spend at the Food and Wine Festival, just so you're not shell-shocked at the end of the day of how much you actually spent. At the end of this video, I'm going to put together kind of a picture montage of, all of the items we got, but right now I'm going to tell you my favorites. Now I know we went in 2016, but a lot of the items that are kind of like fan favorites, they tend to bring back every year. A lot of the things I'm going to name, I'm sure they're going to have back, and if by chance you are there and you see it, I would 100% recommend getting anything I'm about to tell you. In the food category, under savory, my absolute favorite thing was the Kahlua pork slider. We had seen this previously from, other years on people's vlogs that we were watching and different websites that we were on, and it just looked phenomenal. It was literally the first thing that we got, and we loved it so much. This item was actually the only item that we went back to get again. On our very last day in Disney, we had to go back and get this again, because we just couldn't let it be. We had to get it one more time. On the slider, you have your pulled pork, and you have a pineapple chutney and kind of a spicy mayo. The mayo is not real spicy. It has a little bit of a kick to it, but nothing overpowering whatsoever. So if you're not into, hot foods, don't think it's going to be hot. The sweetness of the pineapple definitely cuts that quite a bit. It just gives a nice, sweet and savory flavor. My second favorite thing was the loaded mac and cheese that you can get, and I think it had onions and green peppers mixed in with the macaroni and cheese itself, and on top there was breadcrumbs and bacon and green onions. It was so good. My husband is not a huge macaroni and cheese fan, and even he thought it was really good. I am a huge macaroni and cheese fan, and I thought it was phenomenal. Funny enough, when it comes to sweets at the Food and Wine Festival, we actually only got 2 things. I would recommend both of them. They were delicious. So I'm just going to tell you those 2 and rank them from 1 to 2, basically. We got the liquid nitro chocolate almond truffle. It comes with a warm whiskey, caramel sauce. This was such a fun dessert. It was delicious, for 1. For 2, it's so cool to watch them make it. They have the liquid nitrogen, and they, freeze it like that right in front of you. It is so neat. The presentation looks really cool, and it was fun. It was fun and it was delicious. The second thing that we got was the chocolate baklava. I love baklava in general. I used to eat it, but then I became allergic to walnuts. And I know a lot of baklava tends to be made with walnuts, so I normally stay clear. So this one had almonds instead of walnuts, and it was more of a chocolate, sauce inside. It was really good. Obviously, completely different than a regular, baklava, but it was delicious, and I was so glad that I got this. Now on to the wines. I am a sweet wine girl. Something about a sweet wine I just absolutely love, and especially in the Florida heat, sweet wines are so refreshing. So my favorite wine is Moscato. I got a ton of different Moscatos on this trip. And of course, my favorite wine of the entire trip was a Moscato. This is the Caposaldo Peach Sparkling Moscato. I love peach. I love the fruit. I love anything flavored peach. I love peach drinks. This wine was by far my favorite. I loved it so much. I have actually purchased it since going to the Food and Wine Festival. I found it online where I could order it because nobody around here really carries it. But I was able to order it online, and I have, a little stash of that for myself. It is amazing. Anybody who loves peach, anybody who loves sweet wines, definitely check this out. The next wine that I would recommend, again, is a sweet wine, and funny enough, is also a sparkling wine. This is the Florida Orange Groves Sparkling Pineapple Wine. This was really good. I had gotten this with the Kahlua pork cider, and it paired so perfect. It was so refreshing. The pineapple flavor was there. It was really, really good and very refreshing on a very hot Florida day. My favorite beer of the trip was something that we had gotten in a beer flight. This was the 2 Henry's Blueberry Vanilla American Wheat Ale. This was so good. It was my favorite beer of the flight and ended up being my favorite beer of the festival. It had a very nice blend of blueberry and vanilla. The flavor shone through very well. Sometimes, with beer, I have had like a blueberry beer before, and you tasted a little bit of blueberry and a lot of beer. This actually had a very nice blend of both the blueberry, vanilla, and the beer flavors. Nothing was really overpowering the other. It was a nice kind of smooth flavor. I wish I could actually find this because I would buy it, but I haven't been able to find it around where I live. This is actually a Florida brewing company, and I can't seem to find it in my area, and I'm so bummed because I loved it. The next beer I really liked, actually we have gotten this. We've been able to get this around the area, and this is the Kona Brewing Company Big Wave Golden Ale. This one also has a little bit of a fruity flavor. I haven't been able to pinpoint exactly what fruitiness it is. It's a nice light kind of beer, and it does have a tad bit of fruitiness to it. It is a very nice, refreshing beer. So that was my recommendations for you guys. I hope that they have these things, and if you go out that you will be able to get them. These were definitely the things that I loved the most when we went, and they kind of like shone through the other items. Nothing, I shouldn't say nothing we had was bad. There were definitely a couple of things that I didn't care for, but my husband liked it. So that's just a flavor palette thing. But the majority of the stuff we got, I really loved. And these were the things that really shone through. And I just remember how good each of these items were. enjoyed this video, guys. If you have ever been to the Food and Wine Festival and have tried any of the items that I kind of featured in this video, make sure to let me know down below your thoughts on the items. Like I said, I loved them. I would full-heartedly recommend anything that I brought up. I'll try and link a few things down below that might be helpful for you guys if you are heading out to the Food and Wine Festival. I wish we were. I loved the event. I don't know when the next time we're going to be able to go to the Food and Wine Festival will be, but for those of you who are going, enjoy. Have a fantastic time. If you want to check out more great Disney videos, make sure to hit subscribe and hit the bell notification button. That way YouTube will notify you whenever I put out new videos. Thanks again for watching, and I will see you next time.